Babies are dying in Louisiana, and they shouldn't be. The culprit is most likely man-made. Inside Edition decided to investigate, and Joel Loy reports that a way of life may lead to infant death.
I'm Carla Verlander, and this is my daughter, Katie. She was born 2 years ago with neuroblastoma.
My name is Lorette Lewis, and I had a daughter, Jenna Lewis, who was diagnosed at 3 months old with neuroblastoma, and she fought it for 20 months, and we lost her.
These women are members of a group called Parents Against Childhood Cancer. They live here on the banks of the Mississippi River between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. They live in the shadow of the tangled steel mazes that house some of America's largest petrochemical companies. This 150-mile stretch they call home is also known as Cancer Alley, Bhopal on the bayou.
You have Exxon, Dow, DuPont, Monsanto, Georgia Pacific, I don't know, Shell, Mobil. They're all there.
People don't worry. Well, it ain't my kid. Well, it was mine now, and I want to know what happened to him.
Each of these families saw their world fall apart when they found out their child had cancer they suspect was caused by the chemicals in their local environment.
We were told Michelle's cancer was an environmental cause cancer by the doctors in Tennessee.
You must be glad that you're better. When you see all these little kids, what do you think?
I just remember how it used to be.
Who are we going to point the finger at? I mean, here it is, Louisiana. We're the nation's dumping ground. The chemical industry is just a major part of our lifestyle.
The process of reversing the damage is slow, expensive, and controversial. Some say it's all just politics.
The bills that they're passing, they're wonderful, but they take 5 years to put into effect. To reduce the emissions by 50%, it will take 5 years. In those 5 years, I could probably log you a pretty thick album of epitaphs for children who have died of cancer.
Dan Bornet is the president of the Louisiana Chemical Association, a consortium of chemical companies.
We didn't get into this problem overnight, and we're not going to get out of it overnight. It's going to be an incremental adjustment.
A statewide registry has been set up to get a cancer incidence rate. It has largely been funded by the chemical companies.
We gave them the money without strings, and we said, let the chips fall where they may, and make the data available to whoever wants to see it.
The catch is, if you are treated out of state, as many people are, most likely you won't be included. And for the chemical companies to make any changes, these parents say, all comes down to money.
You have to make sure that the environmental agenda does not seek to close down the productive capacity of the United States.
You're talking about cost. Well, I can tell you what cost is. Nearly cost my child her life, and it did cost many children their lives.
The chemicals produced in Louisiana's chemical corridor are the essential ingredients for virtually every consumer product available.
It's this incredible toxic soup that we're living in. And some people have said we're this massive human experiment.
The health hazards of living near the chemical plants may not be limited to cancer. This area between Baton Rouge and New Orleans is the most populated in Louisiana, a state which ranks lowest in life expectancy in the nation, and which ranks higher than the national average in many leading causes of death.
This is my home. They hold our lives in their hands. Well, what are we going to do? We keep quiet. You know, we let it go. I don't think we can keep quiet anymore.
There are about 170,000 people in Louisiana who depend on the chemical industry for their livelihood. Their dilemma is often between fear for their jobs and fear for their lives.
I think the bottom line is the dollar. And if that dad has been told to press that button to make that release, then when he's thinking in the back of his mind, it's either press this button or don't feed my kids this week, it's going to be press the button.
Something is going on, and it needs to be stopped. I still hurt for all these kids that live because they are like my own. And I don't want to stand and watch what happened to my child happen to them.
Well, the Louisiana Chemical Association says it is working with the state to try and improve things.